The world is beset on all sides with what appears to be existential crisis. As we go through these negative events, we have to look at them with optimism and seek solutions to the challenges we face. For me, I have found through my experiences with mechanic work that working through the problem is probably the most cathartic experience for me. Persevering through it and coming out on the other side is universally rewarding no matter the situation for me. Seeing these problems through does not apply only to tangible goods for me. There are also some mechanic work and fine-tuning I've had to do inside my mind. That's an ongoing project. If it is a piece of work that I have never performed before, there's always some fear entering into it at the beginning. As I've found, if I face these problems head-on and deal with them, the boogeyman disappears rather quickly. Fuck that guy anyways. With experience in these jobs comes a relative confidence that I can diagnose the problem and execute the solution with minimal head scratching or doubt in my skills. I have a friend in Ukraine, and we've become closer ever since the conflict has broken out over there. We met when a package he ordered from us got lost. If I told you that despite all of the upheaval, he's remained optimistic for himself and his family's future, would you believe it? What could be the root of this optimism? He thinks with the mind of an engineer and knows that problems can all be worked out and solutions found. We often lament that anything is possible with the willingness to learn. Of course, the situation in Ukraine is quite complex, but his acceptance of it as a temporary setback is inspiring. Let's learn to address problems with vigor and endeavor to always improve. It is not the measuring of my problems against others with comparatively worse situations that is the inspiration. It is the strength to endeavor through the adversity with optimism, no matter what, that is the inspiration. That's why I'm optimistic of the future, frankly. This country has always found a way to do just such. If we turn off the talking heads and look at our history, there's a proven track record of failures in the small picture, but successes in the large frame that the world has never seen. Why should that stop? As a reference, my life has been a buildup of small improvements over time, generally, with some fuck up in between. Each time I've fucked up, I've been able to, thankfully, recover from it and add the experience up to make myself a better person. Same with the business. It's been an incremental growth of every day expanding our depth and breadth, becoming more efficient, and improving the way that we do things. Each of these improvements, personal and business, add to this foundation of character. The experience and foundation make troubling times simpler and less painful to deal with. What I'm saying is this: our country is made up of people who continue to solve these same problems daily and strive for continual improvement. This has not changed in the real world anecdotally. For this, we should be optimistic. Most towns in the area that I live in have been subjected to some decay because of the loss of industry since the 1980s. A lot of the cities and towns are a shell of what they once were as the economy has changed. There are many factors that have compounded these problems in Rust Belt cities. Population loss, the transition of retail to online sales, the loss of manufacturing jobs, people leaving and building anew. The city that I chose to put my shop in is one of these places. I can reach customers there. It's a reasonable place to do business in as far as costs, and the people I've met have been great. What inspired me to make the decision to build here? Could it have been optimism? A common question I get from people is, do you ever have any problems down there? What would you think if I told you my answer was no? What did they mean by the question in the first place? How can we make things better if we expect someone else to do it for us instead of doing it ourselves? I don't have some grandiose notion that I can save the world by the work that I perform, but we are all part of an aggregate in our towns, cities, and our country. We're constantly engaged in all manners of bullshit and division. Some say, subjectively, that we are in the most divided times we've ever been in. Of course, they would say that. The root of their profit is our engagement in the social media platforms, the media, and the harvesting of data. After the data is collected, they have a team of people analyzing it and find ways to market directly to you. This isn't hidden. This is explicit. Even the news channels call themselves entertainment. The apps manipulate the content to keep you engaged. Did you know that the most valuable resource on the planet is data? More valuable than oil. What emotions keep people most engaged in their platforms so they can profit from it? One look at their content will tell the story. One of the most memorable scenes in a movie for me is in The Outlaw Josie Wales. There's a fella in the movie who's hawking a snake oil tonic and attempts to lure Josie, played by Clint Eastwood, into purchasing a bottle of said elixir. Josie politely asks the gentleman, who's wearing a white suit, what the tonic is good for. The salesman replies, "It's good for just about anything that ails you, sir." Josie looks down at him and spits a stream of brown tobacco juice onto his white shirt and asks him, "How is it with stains?" That's my attitude of the gyre of bullshit that surrounds us in regards to the information space today. How is any of this going to work on stains? Wait, am I the one getting spit on? Fuck, I'm confused. Is my confusion the point? Well, whatever. Maybe if I part with some of this cash and trade it for some consumable, I'll feel better for a bit. Yeah, that'll do it. Whenever it all gets to be a little too much and I want to go back to the real world, I like to pull up to my workbench and work on a machine that's made its way through time and trial to meet me there and tell me it's going to be okay. These machines somehow allow me to escape the time I'm currently in and travel to the time they were made. The materials, the engineering. I'm telling you, when I've got a John's Red 621 I'm fooling with and I'm in the North Woods in Maine or in John's Red, Sweden in my mind, I can hear the river outside my shop. There's a light snow on the ground. The weather is crisp. The wood burner is going, cooking up some coffee as we speak. It's a good place. But I'm fucked up, as I've already addressed earlier. Probably the fumes. You listen to successful people, and it seems like they manifest their whole existence. Is that what I'm doing? Am I dancing like nobody's watching? What the fuck? We'll harken back to Buzz Lightyear on this one, and call it falling with style. And what makes all this momentary manipulation of gravity possible but optimism and perseverance? America is still working exactly as it should. I should know. I'm living my dream that happened by accident that I couldn't have ever believed would have happened about a decade and a half ago. Everything about it to me is better than I could have asked for. This is why I'm optimistic. I sought the standard American dream and I found it. What an incredible job. I get to meet and learn from people all over the world just because some little parts, the bits and pieces, just the differences of people in this country astound me. And they're all great, even if I am in a surly mood. I will leave you with a little line from my friend in Ukraine as he said about his endeavor to learn some English on a trip to deliver an ambulance that his team had made ready. Головне бажання вчитися. The main thing is a desire to learn. Now that is something profound.